One afternoon after I'd been a Christian for about 5 years, I drove home from church feeling downhearted. Oh, you know what? Writers, I am so sad that I'm fumbling, but when I get nervous, I do fumble.
Oh,
So I know you'll have mercy and grace for
absolutely.
me.
We've all been there. Don't worry about it.
Yes, I appreciate that. So I turned the page too soon for the basic components. Title, byline, scripture verse, personal experience or anecdotal prayer will finish it up. Then devotion details, and this is might not be what the guidelines are for your book. Devotion details. Most devotions are approximately 250 to 400 words long. Do you have guidelines for your book, Mary?
Presently, I have not developed any word count per submission yet.
Okay.
So in fact, I don't think I had a word count limit on the submissions because we wanted it as one of our members used to say, we wanted a fat girl, PHAT. So as much as they would submit, I wanted. And although I know we want to consider the reader as well, but what we have received from our latest anthology, I thought was a good amount. You know, whether it was a short story or a poem or blogs that were sort of short quips. I think they were good lengths, all of them, appropriate lengths. So I don't think I'm going to put a requirement on the submissions because they've been good. And like I said, we want it to be a fat girl. So,
well, I think that's absolutely acceptable. And so take my instructions to be accurate for somewhere where else you send it. So I totally think that you've got a good plan for your book.
thank you.
So number 2, devotions must have an emotional tie-in. The experience you write about must have been something that touched you, or it will not catch the reader's attention. Number 3, most devotions are based on everyday occurrences, things like interaction with people, going to an amusement park, referring to something someone said to you, and other common sources. But even though devotions are based on everyday occurrences, the example must be general enough to relate to many, or else explain why you chose the source that you did. Number 4, devotions are very concise and to the point. There is no room available for rambling or unnecessary words. So even though you have a plan to have a fat girl, that your writers can write as long as they want, but just make sure that you can't edit it. And I hope you have an editor involved, but if not, maybe that's a critique group kind of thing.
Yeah, we critique each other here, and if we know that some of our critiques are going to be submitted to the anthology, then we kind of narrow down our critique and point out spelling errors or maybe the rambling, is another possible pointing out. So I am kind of the editor, but I have a word program. I have Grammarly, the premium Grammarly, which really helps with the the grammar issues that come up, like where to put the comma and so forth. I haven't used its entirety for the anthology, like the tone or what the target audience is as far as the program's usefulness of. But we talk about what our direction is and so yeah, that's kind of where we are at. And I should send you our latest anthology. I don't think I did, Kathy. Have I sent you collections for the soul?
I think you did, but I couldn't tell where I put it.
Okay, okay. I'm not sure that I did because I always send you my children's books to get but not
right.
not our writers group anthology. So I should send you the anthology. Just so you can kind of get a taste of what it looks like. And if you have advice, oh my goodness, I would be certainly welcoming your advice for the next anthology.
Absolutely. You have my word.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So number 4, here's characteristics of good devotion writing. You use scripture responsibly. We need to be careful to not use scripture out of context or by stretching its meaning. I think that it is really irresponsible that we choose a topic and then we don't refer to the scripture or consider the scripture first. If we have an anecdote, I think it's fine to just go ahead and find a verse that fits, but it must fit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Number 2, devotions are short but powerful. The reader must relate immediately to it. Number 3, this kind of writing is concrete. It emphasizes specific themes, not vague ones. Therefore, it tends to be practical. I don't know if that is clear enough. So, what would you say is something that is not concrete?
Well, if you're writing a devotional and you kind of take a sidestep and, oh, by the way, I went bowling last night and we had a good time, and it had nothing to do with the theme.
Right. Or one could go philosophical on the devotion, and although it may tie into the scripture, it may not be relatable. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
And sometimes you have people. Sometimes you got people that like to spiritualize everything, and they just go off the deep end trying to spiritualize part of the Bible instead of taking the Bible at its face value.
I love it. I love your ideas.
25 cents each.
Oh, really? The price went up.
I know. It's inflation. They got to pay for things now.
It used to be a nickel.
Well, that was Lucy.
Oh. On Charlie Brown?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Excellent. Number 4, the purpose is to teach, delight, or move. When I say teach, I mean giving short, practical instructions. To delight means to make the reader laugh and relate. And finally, to move means to create any emotional reaction. Because of the short or long word length for devotions, you will often have only one of those purposes as your goal.
Okay.
So if I can repeat, teach, delight, or move the emotions. Number 5, we want to stress using the senses through those fiction techniques. Show, don't tell, dialogue, description, and setting. So does anybody know what show, don't tell means?
I think it's tattooed on everybody's forearm in this group.
I think that is a very wise thing to do because so many authors, writers don't know how to do that. So I think you're well ahead.
Thank you.
I always joke because my father would be writing and sending me stuff, and I'd say, "You're getting paid by the word. You're going to starve. You have to learn how to show and not tell."
I love that. I love that. I
Do you
can tell
teaching
you
your
have a humorous idea, brain in your cell, and a cell in your brain.
So can you you said number 5, stress using the what?
Senses.
Thank you.
Yes. I like to say it's DEA. Description, dialogue is the D. E is the, what was it? E is the, I'm so sorry, I don't know what I was saying. So
DEA.
anyway,
DEA was an acronym you used. D was
yes.
description and dialogue, and then what would
Yes.
What would E be?
I don't know.
Don't remember.
I can't
Okay.
remember.
Emotion.
Oh, maybe emotion.
Oh, yes. Good job.
25 cents.
And A is, what do you think?
Action.
Action. Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you for your patience.
Yes. Number 6, we want to write with as few words as possible. Therefore, we will edit, rewrite, and edit again. Even though you have a open word policy, it doesn't mean there won't need to be editing. And I'm so glad that your group is also a critique group. So you will get the uh, editing that you need.
So we should be harder on each other.
Yes,
I think we're too easy on.
I think we are.
I'll bring the foam rubber bats next time.
What?
Foam rubber bats.
Foam rubber bats. Yes, Kathy, although we are a critique group, Elizabeth was reminding us that we're a little too easy on each other. So maybe, do you have any helpful advice on how not to be as easy on each other?
I think that is really hard when you know each other.
Right?
I think it makes it
Because we want to be
harder.
nice to each other.
Yes, because we don't want to offend.
Right?
Well, I think
Yes.
that we are working so hard trying to encourage each other to write, and so many of the people are struggling to write. The last thing you want to do is to discourage them or
Right.
crush their spirit.
Yeah.
And so
Absolutely.
go a little bit
Absolutely.
softer to just get them to where they're writing and they're feeling comfortable and they're building their confidence. That's
Right.
where you start, I think.
Right.
And you can fine tune as they move along.
Right.
And it's really important how you fine tune. We always stress that start off by complimenting what's good about the work and then start addressing the things where they need work on it.
Kathy, I have used your example of Oreo cookie, the compliment, then some critique, and then another compliment. In the past, I've mentioned that you had suggested that, so we try to implement that.
Well,
Kathy, we've actually done that in our marriage as well. The Oreo.
oh, okay.
Wow.
Oreo cookies.
Thank you, Rena. I think that's very wise. Okay, let me ask you, if you took a commitment to not be offended, how do you think that would help? You know what?
Ooh,
Our
that's
manuscript is like our baby. Our
Right.
manuscript, we think, represents us. So wonder if you just
Yeah.
went over a few reminders before you started critiquing your work.
That's good.
I was trained at the County of Riverside in something called Crucial Conversations. And it's a system designed that you can communicate with anybody about anything. And the first thing you do is to set up the fact that you both have a common goal and you identify the goal you're trying to achieve. And then you start building to reach that goal. And so if you're doing an anthology, if you're doing a story, the goal is to present a piece of work that is easy to read, interesting, and you can, share it and it says what you need it to say. So if you all come to the idea that this is the goal we are all working to, and nobody's trying to attack you, they're just trying to reach that goal, it can make a big difference because it's not personal then.
Right.
I absolutely agree with you. If you could give that little mini sermon before you start your critiquing, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, that's a good reminder, Kathy. Thank you. I made note of that. I hope I will remember it. And
you
have
know
maybe
what it-
Dennis remind us.
You know what it reminds me of is today's definition of love. As long as you feel good, I'm all for it. I love you. I want you to know that we love you. And therefore, we will let you do anything you want. And I think disciplinary efforts are left out because it's, good. Love could be defined as wanting the best for the other person.
There you go.
Yeah.
And if you have that as your goal and maybe remind yourself of that, I think that could go far for your ability to not feel like you can't offend. So,
Yeah, you're right. And it's so important. It's hard though when the other person's feelings do get hurt. And I can't say that I have never been had hurt feelings, but it just shows my ego is a little too big, if I get my feelings hurt from a constructive criticism, And so I need to buck up and face that with a grin and smile and just bear under the, let my ego die, in other words, and just receive it,
Well, when my wife was alive, what would always frustrate me is I would work on something for 2 or 3 weeks and I would hand it to her. And the first thing she would say is, "You misspelled this," or "You forgot this." And it's important you come through and say, "You did a good job.
Yeah.
You put a lot of work in this and it is a good piece of material. Now let's fine tune it." And that's the difference.
Yeah.
If you're just going in and you start finding all the faults and never tell the people they've done a good job, then why would they bother? There's got to be a balance between the compliments and the criticisms.
I think that is putting the Oreo cookie in there. And so I'm so glad that Mary is using that with your group.
As often as I should.
Yes. So number 7, authentic, not preachy. This requires that we are vulnerable, and the best way to do that is to draw from our own experiences, often sharing our struggles. We want the reader to think, that is how I feel, or that's what I needed today. Number 8, good devotion writing doesn't offer pat answers.
It doesn't what?
No pat
Answers.
answers.
Cliches.
No pat answers.
So therefore, it gives one answer that is compassionate and aware that most problems aren't solved through only one solution. And we need to be careful to not use Christian cliches, but instead find new ways to express old ideas. Phrases like walk in the Spirit, or know Jesus, or accept Christ may be familiar to someone going to church, but we want to reach out to others. We'll need to use words that anyone can understand. So, what kind of devotional formats are we looking at? Number one, the interior monologue. This highlights a person thinking in their own brain. Number two, interaction between people, two or more people talking to each other. Number three, third person reporting or making observations. Number four, lesson from nature. Number five, phrase or motto. I think this can be overworked. Have you ever read Bloom Where You're Planted?
I haven't, no. What is it?
That was all the thing from Heinz Feet in High Places was that whole theme.
A Christian kids song comes to mind too. Bloom where you're planted, and if you succeed, God will. And I don't remember it, but anyway, just a children's song. But yeah, bloom where you're planted. That's
Yes.
a
Number six, retelling Bible story or using a story that most people know. Number seven, children's quotes or anecdotes. I think this could be overused. We're all wanting to talk about our grandkids, right? So my granddaughter said the cutest thing the other day. Well, sometimes that's appropriate, but I think we have to be careful not to use it too much.
Mhm.
Number eight, writing techniques like quotes, poetry, or rhetorical questions. And I'm so glad that you are using quotes and poetry in your book. Number nine, direct teaching about Scripture. This possibility is not used too frequently because it can come across as preachy. Sometimes it's also hard to be concrete if the Scripture contains an abstract thought. So that's the different kinds of
Approaches.
Patterns.
Patterns.
Yeah. So Mary had asked that I talk about my current publisher, Elk Lake Publishing Inc.com. Elk Lake Publishing Inc.com. And so I'm wondering if anybody has their computer available that you could put that in and we could look at it together.
We can use our devices right now as we speak, as you speak, rather.
Okay.
So give us a moment. We will do that. Pull it up.
Yep. In the meantime, let me tell you how I.
Okay, I found this on the web, publishing.
Almost there, almost there. Gosh, I even, I pinned it.
Says they use cookies. 6 steps to publishing.
Yes.
Oops.
So
There, Janet.
look at submissions.
Okay, tap on submissions. Sure.
I don't see submissions.
And there will be your proposal guidelines.
Oh, you've got to sign.
Prepare
What?
for launch.
You have to sign in here. Go ahead and use mine. And okay, so after we hit submissions, it gives 4 different choices. Kathy, proposal guide, author guide, order of content, and Elf Lake W9.
Well, I'm thinking that we'll look at Elk Lake proposal guidelines first.
Proposal guide, okay.
So there you will see what you want, they want you to submit.
Oh, okay.
And so I think it's pretty clear that what you can come back to. And then let's look at author guide. And you will find their manuscript submission rules.
You see author guide?
I think you have to go back because it was one of those 4, wasn't it?
Okay, let's see. Oh, yes, you're right. Thank you.
Janet knows her way around the computer.
It does.
Well, I just learned it from Mary the last time.
You're a fast learner. Okay,
And then finally on the order of content, and this isn't anything that you need to send in to them right from the start, but it gives you what they have in mind for the front matter of the book and the book block and back matter. So you won't send, this is just for you to keep in mind.
Okay,
Okay.
And
There's a lot
so,
in the front matter.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
yes. And
Now-
I really love working with Elk Lake because Deb Haggerty is my friend, and yet she just bought it recently. And Deb and I had been friends for many years, and I wondered if she would be interested in any of the 5 projects that I hadn't been able to have accepted elsewhere. So this is when she first bought the company and invited her author friends to submit anything. So when I sent the email, I begged God that she could be interested in at least one. When I emailed her about my project, she immediately wrote back and said, I'll take all 5.
Wow.
I couldn't believe what I was reading. We've continued to work together, and she has been so wonderful. We have become friends with her and her husband, Roy. So I don't think that I don't know if she takes compiled books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so what are your questions?
So is this like Amazon that the submission and the formatting and everything, not formatting, I mean, submitting manuscripts, is that a free service like Amazon, or do we have to pay the publisher to publish it? And then we also buy copies of the books? I don't remember asking you this before, Kathy, so forgive me for repeating a question.
Oh, no, she is a full royalty publishing company, which means that she does not require any upfront payment.
Huh,
That's good.
wow. So
Yeah.
only if your work sells, then they get something from it. Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
and you get a royalty.
Ah,
And
That's
that's
only
a
if they
part,
like it.
so they get like a commission, in other words, and then we also get a royalty.
yes.
Ah, I see.
And your contract will spell it out for you.
Right. Do they advertise for you as well? Do they
Well,
market it?
that's where, yeah, I think that the publishing world has changed from a long time ago. A long time ago, you could just about bank that they do a lot of advertising. But these days, unless you're a known author, and even with my 62 books, there is no guarantee that they're going to do anything for it. So then you're on your own. But I think that the idea about a compilation is that you all have the idea that you're going to buy a copy and get it for everyone in your family and your friends. And you will also invite everyone you know to buy a copy.
Mhm. Now,
And
do
then
they, I'm sorry, Ken, go ahead.
I think, are you going to ask where do they put it? On Amazon.
Okay. I forgot what I was gonna ask.
And do you get to keep your rights to it?
Yes.
What's Kathy's last name?
Miller.
Okay.
Kathy Colored Miller is what she goes by. Oh, so Kathy, do they require an author to submit their manuscript for approval by them, to be published by them?
If you're a beginning writer, I'm talking about individually. If you're a beginning writer, then you're going to need to finish the book.
Finish?
Oh, I see. So
For
you
them
have to
to
have
review.
a completed manuscript before you ask them to publish it. But so do they evaluate, I do or do not want a book? Do they say that to the author? We don't see this is gonna sell, so we won't publish it? Do they make that evaluation?
Yes.
Yes, they do. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
They're not like a self-publisher
Gotcha.
who you guys can put anything out there.
Right.
So
We have.
I know your work is quality, but if you're it's amazing what's out there that's self-published.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be bad.
Right.
Me?
Right.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
in your deciding to go through ELK, I know your friend helped that decision.
That was
You know,
Deborah?
except Deborah, yeah, accepting your work. Had you ever thought to self-publish, or did you only want to go through a publication company?
I actually had one book self-published only because it had already been put out of print with the original company.
When you were, I don't remember if you shared this with our group early on, a long time ago, but learning about your very beginning writing experience, I found that such a blessing. Would you like to just encapsulate how you got started?
Absolutely. My first book was a memoir of how God delivered me from being a child abuser. And I had at that time not any writing experience. And yet I went to the writers' conference at Forest Home. And because I didn't know where else to go. So I talked at different times with different publishers from different houses. And I went at least 3 times before I had a nibble. And for a my, by then I had learned what a book proposal was. And so after I prepared that, I worked with Zondervan, and they offered me a contract. And they saw the whole manuscript. And so, but then I don't know how I got connected with, at that time, Seeley Yates was a lawyer for publishers, for authors. And so I thought, okay, well, I should do that. And so Seeley Yates Corporation was in Newport Beach. And I ended up meeting with him. And he said, well, have you signed the contract? And I said, no. He said, let me get my publisher friend for Word. At that time, that was a major publisher. And he called the publisher friend, and the publisher friend said, I'm interested. Have her send me the contract, the manuscript. And I did that, and he ended up taking it. And so my very first book was with Word, and it was called Out of Control. And so I'm just really glad. And you know what? I thought, oh no, what if I say no to Zondervan? And then I did, and they said, no problem.
Wow.
Because I just wasn't that valuable. And so that was the beginning of my career. That was my first book, came out in '84. And then I had 3 books come out the next year. And then I was in touch with Mary Nelson with David C. Cook. And I didn't think I should write a Bible study because I'm not a seminary student. And but I had been leading my little group in my neighborhood for a Bible study. And so Mary Nelson of David C. Cook said, I sent in a proposal for another book and a different book. And she said back, in those days, you got letters. There was no email.
Yeah.
And so she sent a letter saying, this isn't right for us, but we do have an idea, and we are wondering whether you can send us samples for a women's Bible study series. And I said, yeah, I can do that. And so I did prepare proposals for one of those. And then I did have ideas. And so I thought, okay, it's worth it. And she knew I had no training. She knew I had not gone to seminary. And you know what? They took it and said, show us more other ideas for a series. And so that's what I did. And that ended up being a 12 series book series, Bible studies, women's Bible studies. And by golly, they were in print for at least 10 years. And so I just really got, I was thrilled. And then when they took it out of print after, I would say 10 years, by then I had that was one of the ideas I had that I had sent Deb Haggerty, who after of the 5. And so she said,
All of these.
yeah, I'll take them as a part of the 5,
Wow.
as a category,
It's just
as
a
a
few.
category.
Uh,
So we've been working on that for a long time. And up until I had my stroke, there were 6 of the 12 that we had already worked on, and I wanted to have commentary. And that's what those turned out to be. And so because I have lost the capability of thinking and processing, we are working on just not giving commentary to this new series. This is taking number 7 and just making a part of a new series. So 7 through 12 books. So we'll see how it goes. And then, so I'm all talked out.
Oh, Kathy, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us all that wonderful instruction and advice and
information.
direction and information. That was really wonderful, and I appreciate it so much. I did
You're
record.
very welcome.